Don't blink. It's your blink. Welcome to the show. Guys, doing well because I'm having a wonderful day on this 11 June 2025. Today is a beautiful day. As you can see, the sun is rising. Can't really see it, but trust me, it's there. We're of course filming it, so it's going really well. I wanted to come back on the video we did today on the strawberry moon that we filmed today, because to me this is an important moment, is an important videos, and this whole video that I did, I was extremely honest, I was extremely vulnerable, and I think that was refreshing for a lot of you guys. I think I was able to showcase a part of me that I don't showcase enough, which is the hey, not everything is okay, but not everything is bad, right? It's kind of a neutral part where, it's normal to be feeling some type of way. It doesn't mean the world end. Um, the reason why I want to come back on it because I'm grateful that I have the community that I have. I'm grateful that I'm able to talk to you guys about what I'm talking about. It felt really good to talk about this. It was something that was waiting heavy on my mind, heavy on my heart, heavy on emotion. So the fact that I was able to talk about it with you guys felt once again completely phenomenal. Um, so I just wanted to thank you. Just I don't know. See, often I want to be a role model. Often I want to be a bigger brother to some of you guys. And this is this is my dream as a job. This is my dream as a profession, of course. But it's also a chance for me to leave the place, to leave the world a better place that I came in. And that should be the goal for most people. That should be the goal for everybody, if I'm being completely honest. But it's not. It's not. People come in the world and say, fuck it. One day I'll die and I won't be part of this world. So why do I care? Right? But you should care. It's important to care. You're born into this place, you're giving a chance of life, you're giving a chance of living your life and enjoying everything that life has to offer and then some. So it's your responsibility as a human being, not as a human being, to be like, you know what, I am grateful for what life has offered me. You know what, I am grateful for what I'm getting to live right now. You know what, this could have been happening to somebody else, but it's happening to me. And the other thing, like I was talking about how I talked with one of my friend that is Muslim, and he was talking about everything in life is a test. You know, you have to be thankful for the trial that's in your life. You have to be thankful for um, the thing that pushes you to act a certain way. Like, hey, this happened in my life. This taught me this lesson, and I'm grateful that I learned this lesson. It's really important. Like, for example, this morning we went to see the strawberry moon. We thought it was fucking nice outside, so I was like, you know what? Let's go back home. Let's film the tower. Let's film some videos and make some content. And the whole video was about how I'm lacking inspiration for content. Um, and it, it's rough. It's rough. But here we are, still doing what we can. Here we are, still pushing day to day. And I think this is perfect. And talking about this, you see, all I said today in the Strawberry Moon video, 2025 edition, was true. All I said was true. However, talking about it did help. Talking about it, sharing about something. I don't talk about this. The reality is I don't have anybody to talk to about this. I cannot tell my parents because they don't understand. I cannot tell friends because they don't understand. You know? It's a very lonely place. Not physically. See, if you went to depression, like I did, you understand that you can be lonely in a room full of people. You understand that you can be out of place in a place that is yours. You can be there's my hometown has changed so much that there's time when it doesn't feel like my hometown. My hometown has changed so much that there's a lot of time where I'm like, dude, since when is it like that? You know? And that sucks. That really sucks. That really does suck. Not from a point of view of, oh man, life is so hard, life is so rough. But no, from a point of view of, it could be, a situation that is perfect. Like making content. This is my dream. Again, and I'm repeating this because it is important to be said. This is my dream. You expect the situation to be a certain way. And when it's not, you question things. You're like, why is it not the way that I want it to be? I tried so hard for this to stay that way. Why is it not working in my favor? And the truth is, it doesn't need to be working in your favor. You just gotta be enjoying the good and the bad, right? And this is what life's about. Something good happened today, I get to enjoy it. Something bad happened today, I get to learn from it, you know? The whole video, of course, made me feel better, but it's more than that. It's more than I feel better. It's a realization. You know, people think I'm crazy, which I possibly am, but I'm not that crazy. I don't talk alone. So when I talk to in the videos, I can't talk to you guys. I'm also talking about, how can I say this? As weird as it sounds, and again, I know this is possibly going to be offensive. That is not the goal. Oh shit, I made a mark. Fuck's sakes. I've been to AA meetings, and this feels like an AA meeting, which is a great thing. AA meetings are for, and always will be for, helping people in a similar situation that you are, right? I'm feeling this type of way. It's because I'm feeling this type of way. This is how I'm reacting to the situation. If I was feeling better about the situation, I would react in another fashion, but I'm feeling this way about the situation. So this is my perception, and this is my reaction to. My reaction from this morning was to feel kind of down, because we talked about how I was lacking inspiration, you know, and how hard it was to admit that to you guys, but to admit that to myself, right? Which is a reaction of something that's troubling me, and then the reaction to talking about it is a lot better. It's a lot more positive, you know, which is a good thing, and always has been a good thing. It's complex, sure, but it is a good thing, you know? I don't know. It's rough. It's really rough. You see, I'm questioning life a lot. That's part of maturing. This is part of change also. So I was going to be making content, now we're actually working, you know. It always has been about what's next? How does this work? You know? And now the next is uncertain. See, the content has always been kind of similar, somewhat similar. I don't care what I'm doing as long as I'm doing what I want, right? I don't care what I'm talking about, because I get to make content, and this is positive, and this is really positive. But this is also scary. How much battery do I have? You're not charging. Oh yeah. I'm gonna have problem with batteries for sure. Because this one was supposed to charge, but it didn't charge. And this one, for some reason, is not really charging. See, for example, with the gaming. Gaming was something that I loved doing, but then it became something that I need to do for content, which is, I don't mind. Then lately gaming has been kind of boring. I've been playing games that are really passive. To pass time, to make content, right? And it's rough. Because I feel like I'm gaming for a purpose, not for fun. Again, the situation of I need to versus I want to. But then that's not a bad thing. If you have to do A can be anything you want. Think about something and call it A. Okay? If I want to do A, the fact that I did it for this reason, the fact that I did it for another reason, doesn't really matter. It doesn't really matter. Did it ever matter? That's another question. That is a good question, actually. And the answer is I don't know. I don't know. You know? As long as A is done, as long as X is done, who cares? But it is the scary part. The second I stop caring. Okay, this is actually really good. So this is a brainstorm at the same time as just an open conversation with you guys. The second I stop asking myself why I'm doing A. The second why I stop caring as why I'm doing A is a death. Not death for real, but death of art. And right now with content, it feels that way. It feels like we're making content because it's the right thing to do. It feels like we're making content because it's the normal thing to do. See? This is crazy. I'm making this video because I want to. This is like, I'm making this video because I want to. I'm making this video because I feel like I need that to talk about it. Versus, I'm making this video because I'm recording again. And I'm recording the gameplay. I'm making this video because I really want to make this video. Or am I making this video because, you know what? I should probably do that. See, for example, right? The whole thing with reacting to content. Fortnite is coming out with a new season. We reacted to the new season trailer, right? It's something new. It's something that's trending. It's something that's going on. But then you're trapped. You're trapped doing the same thing over and over and over again, in a different fashion, just because you want to get the, you want to be trendy. I'm talking about current events, right? And I'm at an age where it's really complex because the best music I've ever listened to is in the past. Not a little bit, but years back. Jude Grace, Breaking Benjamin, Linkin Park, All in Reverse, the old stuff. Motionless in White. Graveyard Shift was pretty good though. You know, it's the old stuff. And then you realize that you're not able to like the old stuff because you need to do new stuff. And besides, there's a lot of videos that I feel like I made already. For example, today, we went to do the Strawberry Moon. It was exciting, but I did it last year. And I felt like because I did it last year, it wasn't an original video. Right? But then you think about it, and this is us brainstorming. This is us thinking about what's going on. I lost 10% batteries already and 14 minutes. This is crazy. This is nuts. I did some taste tests of the same food over and over again. Why? Because I could. Because I wanted to. Because right there, right then, it felt like the right thing to do. Was it? Possibly. Was it not? Who knows? You know? But it's also the disabuse, you know? Like the avocado. I saw him as a troll. I saw him as a hate baiting, right? And then he fixed himself, and he just left YouTube. And sure, he still makes videos, but it's different. It was okay to leave it, you know? I saw all of these people last year retiring from making content. And I was like, dude, you're living the dream. You live the dream. You got to do what you need to do. You got to do what you want to do. How lucky are you? You know? And although you don't realize, you don't understand why these young people are retiring, you respect it. The reality is you don't respect it. You don't give a fuck. Because out of the people that retired, I didn't know them. The one that I cared about was Rich Fiana, he died. The one I cared about was AGP, he died. Out of the people that retired, I don't really know them, you know? I didn't know Mad Pat. That's the only one I can tell that is retiring. But then at the same time, you're seeing someone like Outdoors Boy. An Outdoors Boy that left last week, let's say this month. It's nuts. But holy shit, he left and I like that guy. But I like that guy since when? Since 2-3 months? He doesn't owe me shit. He doesn't owe me to make videos. Right? He doesn't owe me anything. And then the whole perception changed. The whole mentality behind it changed. I'm making videos because I feel like I owe myself hard work. But do I feel like I owe myself hard work? Or do I just believe that I will only succeed if I do artwork? And that's the mentality that I have. I need to be working hard because a lot of people are doing way better than I do, right? So to compete with those people that are doing way better than I do, I need to do something that is different than what I do. They're not telling me. People aren't asking me to be different. People aren't asking me to be myself. I decide to be, right? That's a crazy thing. It's really concerning that something as beautiful as the strawberry moon, as beautiful as it is, seemed pointless. It seemed pointless because we're gonna have one next year and we had one last year, and I mentioned this before. Felt pointless. But at the same time, it feels so fucking weird. Because right now, what are we doing? We're filming the sunrise. I filmed the sunrise yesterday. I filmed it the day before. I filmed it last week. I filmed it last month, right? So what is different here? The answer, nothing. But that's also okay. That's also good. It doesn't always need to be something going on. It doesn't always need to be something happening. And that's where it gets complicated. It's not always need to be something to happen, but you always need to make videos, right? That's nuts. Because what if I was lying to myself? What if the want was always a need? You know? And this is where literal world collides. I know what you're saying, it's crazy, but it's the truth. World collide. Since when my want to make video became a need to make videos? And that is the tricky part. What if I want to make this video? What if I want to make this video? But then, no. What if I wanted to make this video? Right? But in beneath and subconsciously felt like I need to make a video per day. All of those notes that I have about the subject and about videos, and I changed my mind. Maybe I never wanted to make them to begin with. Maybe I felt like I needed to make them to begin with. I think the hardest part right now is we want to make content. We do want to make content. I'm happy when I make content. I restarted streaming and it feels great. It feels so good. Right now, I'm complaining, but I'm enjoying myself. Why is not there to enjoy? Look, it's just people. I'm getting to play the tower. We're getting to film the sunrise. I'm enjoying UV rays. We just came back from drinking wine on the lakeshore, watching the moon, listening to music. I got a great life, right? It's fucking nice. Look, we having we having a hard time with concept of how much am I willing to do, and how much am I willing to do is a direct result of how much I've already done. Let's say you got this neighbor who's asking you for sugar. They ask you one time and like, you know what? Take some. We have a lot, right? And the next day, it comes again. No. You know what? We'll make it a better example. You got your neighbors. They just moved in. They ask you for sugar. Like, oh, you just moved in. I know it's hard. Let me help you. You give them sugar, right? And then, a month after, they come back and they ask for something else. And a week later, they come back to ask for something else. And then another week later, and then you realize that every single week they come to ask for something, right? So now you see them, right? And right away, your thought is, what are they going to ask? And that is the craziest example, but it's also one of the most meaningful ones. What are they going to ask me? What help do they need now? They asked you for help. You accepted the help, right? When did you stop being neighborly? When you stop being nice? And when you start seeing them as someone that needs help? When did you start seeing them as people that you had to give something to? When did you start seeing them as somebody that was going to ask you something? And you realize the answer doesn't matter. The answer never mattered. The answer is, what matters is that you can admit that you stop being nice and you just expect it, right? The action is the same. So why is this example so important? Well, because I want to be neighborly and I want to help my neighbors, versus I'm seeing them come. I know they're going to ask me something. I need to help them. Same situation, same result, different intent. When did the intent change? And why did it change, you know? Is it because I'm not getting a lot of results? I worked so hard last week with Janice. You know? It was fun, of course, but I need balance. I need order. I need difference. I need a change. You think it changes? It's scary. You know what's scary than change is scary? You know what's scarier? Thinking that you need to change, but you don't know how. Because I don't know the issue. And maybe I'm just... See, this is the thing with change. We already changed. You guys just didn't notice. The person that was last year, the person that was obsessed with making content, doesn't exist anymore. Which is a good thing but a bad thing. Right? I'm tired. And we changed. And I'm able to admit that we changed. We're able to say, I'm not that person anymore. I'm not able to say that I regret being that person. No. I'm not able to say that change was necessary. No. When I'm willing to change, we changed. Now the question that I can't answer. Who was better? The person I was last year? The person I was this year? People associate moving forward with succeeding. It's not. You know? But then, at the same time, something magical happened. Something I didn't think was going to happen. Something that I couldn't predict what happened. And it's really, really simple when you think about it. It is scaringly simple. Scaringly simple. I could tell you, and you wouldn't even believe me. Do you know what happened? I was watching the Strawberry Moon today. And you stop. You stop. Sorry about this. And for a quick second, right? And for a very quick second. Well, it's not true. It was 4 or 5 minutes at least. But still, this morning we went out. We went out at 3:20 and we came back, it was 5 o'clock. Which is an hour and a half or 90 minutes. How much is 5 minutes out of 90? It's 1/15th. 1/18th, sorry. No, that's not true. 90 minutes is what? Five out of 90 is how much? It's 1/18, yeah. Yeah. Because you just do 12, and then you add 6, 12 for 60 minutes, an hour, and 6 for half an hour. It's 1/18th. And it's a great thing. Because I saw the moon go down. Literally saw the moon disappear. And I can guarantee you, and I promise you one thing. I never saw something like that. I never saw the moon go down. I never saw in my entire 32 years of life, I have never saw the moon go down. I guarantee you, I give you my word. And I saw it. And for a second, I was in nirvana. Like, holy shit, this is so cool. So maybe in that moment, I found purpose. Maybe that's a problem. Maybe the problem isn't that we're uninspired. Maybe the problem is we don't see purpose in what we're doing. Right? We've been making content for 4 years, right? And I love saying that. I love saying that we've been making content for 4 years. Because in actuality, it doesn't mean shit. We've been making content for 4 years, doesn't mean shit. Why does it mean shit? Oh, because you haven't done a video in 3 months. 4 years is how much? It's 48 months. It's 48. You haven't made a video in 3 months. How much is 3 out of 48? Well, it's pretty simple. Thanks for asking. 3 out of 48 is 16. 16. No. Yeah, 16. Yeah, exactly 16. Yeah, exactly 16. Holy shit, that's crazy. I got it like that. So it's still a lot, you know? So your 4 years is a measure of time. This is beautiful. This is insane. Your 4 years is a measure of time, not of work. Holy shit. Holy shit. Your 4 years are a measure of time, not a measure of work. That's insane, right? So when I say I've been making content for 4 years, what I mean to say is I made 40,000 videos. I'm at 39, so we're not gonna argue on that. And this is content I posted. There's content that I did post. It's nuts. It's completely crazy, right? Maybe the problem isn't how much time Is the purpose. You see, in 4 years, right, we made 40,000 videos. A lot of people will say 40,000. A lot of people will say 4 years. It doesn't matter what you say, they're both the same time. They're both the same thing. They're both a measure of how much work we put in. Right? And maybe after all of that, and it's not because I've been talking about this, right? I've been talking about how it feels like we lack purposes. It feels like we lacked a certain je ne sais quoi, a certain savoir-faire, you know, but mostly purpose, right? And maybe, just maybe, when I saw the sun go up and the moon go down, maybe in that moment I felt purpose, right? Maybe going to see the strawberry moon didn't feel purposeful because we did it already, right? But we still got something. See, am I grateful that I got to see the moon tonight? Absolutely. However, and I mentioned this before, but fuck. At the same time, yes, I'm grateful. I'm seriously grateful, absolutely. But at the same time, it's a weird conundrum, because if you ask me, I would have been okay with the footage that I got at 8 o'clock, at 9 o'clock. And then you're telling me that the sun, the peak is 3:42, and the sunrise at 4:30. You know? But at the same time, it was great. I had a good time going make videos. See, that is so complex. Lately, I've been having a hard time finding purpose. When I do a video like the video that I did today, we had a hard time finding a purpose, right? And it, again, the purpose, the reason why we don't feel purpose is because I started as I want to do it versus, and now we're at the I need to do it, right? It's very different. It feels not purposeful because this is a job that I want to do because it's something that can allow me to dream. It's something that allows me to be myself. It is something that allows me to be having fun. It's something that be allowing me to be as crazy as I want to be. Right? My moral system will stop me from being crazy. My moral system will tell me, hey, this is good to do, this is not good to do. My moral system will tell me, hey, what the fuck are you doing? You know? And I don't know. I have no clue. I have no clue. I don't know. I don't know. This moral system will tell you, stop. You're going too far. This moral system, like, you know what? You can go a bit further. You know? So then, your moral system. Your moral system will stop you from taking a knife and killing someone. Your moral system will not stop you from making jokes because you feel like it's purposeful. You feel like it's okay. So when I make videos that I find purpose, or I find a want, it's completely changed. I miss being able to say I want to do things. The reality is I still want to do things. I still want to film. Right now we're filming. Who told me to film? Think about it. Close your eyes, think about it. Who told me to film this video? Who told me what to say? So since nobody told me that I needed to do that, I decided to do that, right? And I decided to do it comes from a want, right? Because again, why do something that you don't want to do? Well, you're doing something that you don't want to do because you got bills to pay. You're doing something that you don't want to do because somehow, some way, there's a higher power. And I wish higher power was something religious. I wish higher power meant something that had more meaning than just a piece of paper. The reality is higher power is, well, you gotta eat, you gotta pay the bills, you gotta work. You gotta feed the system. And you gotta feed the system, and then if you're lucky, the system will feed you. And this is beautiful because you feeding the system, for the system to feed you, equates basically to the exact same thing that I was saying. You're a slave. You're a wage slave. You're a wage slave, right? If you don't have a pay, you're fucked. So you're enslaved by money. You want to have this new labubu. So you're enslaved by money. You don't give a fuck about labubu, but you're enslaved. Right? And that's cool. That's part of life. Right? That's part of life. But most of all, it's not. See, I did a video this week. Not 3 days ago. Not 4 days ago, this week. I don't know when, but a couple days ago. Talking about how I missed being that ink that was going against the system. But then again, if the system doesn't work for you, you gotta fix it. The problem isn't the system. The problem is, that's so stupid to say, but it's the truth. The problem is the system. The problem is that you cannot thrive in the system. The problem is that you see a corrupted system and you feel like a victim, versus you're seeing an opportunity to say, you know what, you want to be corrupted, I'll be corrupted too. You want to play? Let's fucking play. Fuck you. You know? You don't see the opportunity to do that. It's because you don't see the opportunity to do that, you don't do it. And because you don't do it, you don't take the risk that you're supposed to take. And that is the problem. That is the problem. That always has been the problem. I'm not doing something I think that I should be doing because I don't think I should be doing it. Let's say it again. I don't do something that I think that I should be doing because I don't think I should do it. You understand what I'm saying? It sounds crazy, but it's the truth. Let's repeat it one last time, slowly. I don't do something that I think I should be doing because I don't think I should do it. How does that make sense? It does. In a very simple way. I am not doing something that I think I should be doing. So personally speaking, you want to, your moral is telling you to do it. Your bravado, your gutsats, your instinct are telling you, follow your guts. But then something, you've been told that, no, you shouldn't do that, right? In school, you've been taught that, hey, exam are individual. And you'll compare class with you compare notes with your classmates. If you got 60, you pass, but everybody else at 80. So you're kind of a loser, right? But when I come in and I think that, you know what? I know this answer. I don't know this answer. I know my friend is struggling with this question. Let's ask him. If we work together, maybe we'll get together, right? Maybe we'll win. Maybe we'll have a perfect score. So you think that the answer to your problem is teamwork. You want to do teamwork, which is a great thing. Working together towards a society that's better. But then you're being told that, no, you can't do it. Right? That is straight up stupid. But at the same time, you're being taught that, you know what? Sometimes you're not going to be able to do things together. And you have to get yourself out of shit. You gotta get yourself out of a situation. You gotta push yourself to reach a certain place that you weren't able to reach before. AKA, finding a solution to the problem that you were not able to solve before. Now, the greatest thing of the modern system. Again, this is me going crazy. This is me with a couple of drinks from this morning. This is me tired. This is me having been disappointed with today, right? The best thing about this is it doesn't really matter if your answer wasn't good, because you still answered the question. You still answered the exam, right? Oh, you got a fault? You didn't get the perfect score? Well, okay. Study better. Study harder next time, you'll get it. Study harder, next time you'll get it. Right? Now, with things like math, it's okay. I understand. I had Andrew coming in yesterday, talking about his exam. He had math and a religion left. And math. But religion is all up to interpretation. Math is factual. It doesn't matter if you think that 1 plus 1 equals 3, it isn't. Right? So you give me an answer that is wrong, and they tell you to go back to the books to read their material, to read their belief, change your answer to their belief, right? That is insane. That is insane. It is insane. Think like we do. Don't get it right. And then at the same time, it's insane because if you were working together, you'd be better. Two brains better than one. The union, united we stand. Shit like that, right? They don't want that. They don't want you to come together. They want you to be separated. They want you to be individual. Because divide and conquer, right? Divide and fucking conquer. Now, do I really think that they're gonna conquer you? No. Do I really think that their goal is dominion? No. See, the system in itself is made for that. Doesn't matter how successful you are. Doesn't matter how brilliant you are. Doesn't matter how rich you are. You still gotta pay taxes. You still gotta pay your rent. You still gotta pay your house taxes. You still gotta pay for the food. You still gotta pay for the gas. You still gotta pay for your kids' tuition. So even though that you're super successful, even though that you're super rich, you're still a slave to the system. So how does that apply to us? How does it apply to us making content and not feeling purposeful? Because my definition of purposeful is flawed, right? My definition of purposeful is flawed. My definition of purposeful is what we're doing right now is purposeful. Those videos that I'm doing right now are purposeful. However, this week I referred twice, not once but twice, to my video or my emotion, my current emotion, as being pointless. Because I felt bad this morning, but I feel good now. Sick. Fuck. I need to cut my hair, guys. I'm gonna cut my hair for sure. Because I can't stand it anymore. Cannot stand it anymore. I'm always fucking worried that the tripod's gonna fall. That was bad. I was pissed because I didn't bring it today. At the same time, it was so windy. I was gonna have to take care of it, you know. So now it's really a problem. It really is a problem. What are we supposed to do? How are we supposed to do it? I don't know. I don't know. See, what I'm trying to say is actually really simple. The way I'm saying it is complex, but the idea behind it is really simple. What I'm trying to say is maybe my definition of purposeful is different. Maybe I have a harder time finding purpose in what I'm doing. But that doesn't mean that what I'm doing is not purposeful. You know? You just gotta believe. You just gotta believe in something. See, I get a job. And I love my parents. I got amazing parents, but I get a job and my parents' reaction is, hey. My father is like, I'm so proud of you, you got a job. My mom was like, oh my god, I prayed so hard for you to get a job. They're both super fucking happy. They got a job. And don't get me wrong. I'm happy I got a job too. Don't get me wrong. However, you guys don't even know half of how hard I'm working for this dream. Not because I need to, but because I want to, you know? Not because I want to, because I need to. I don't know. I would see my son, I would see my daughter See my kid with 40,000 videos. 30 on one channel, 8 on another channel. That's what we did post. I'll see that and it's like, fuck, my son is a hard worker, you know? But since there's no reward, since there's no... It seemed pointless. You can't blame your parents because that's what they've been told. This is what they've been taught. Success equals money. Money equals security. See, people want more money because they need it, right? They need to pay the bills. They need to pay everything. But it's more than that. It's a lot more than that. It's a lot more than that. This is not working, huh? It's a lot more than that. See, if that was true... Sorry, this needs to charge, that's why. And this needs... It's overeating, that's the problem. See, the problem with that is logic. That it somehow doesn't work. And it doesn't work for a couple of reasons. I need money to survive. I need money to pay the bills. I need money to go to get some food, right? Then, so there's just this whole pyramid, right? This pyramid, I talked about it a lot. Simon Gasso, my boy, told me about it. The basic needs are at the bottom. The luxury needs are at the top. The super luxurious needs are at the second level. And the first level is the dream, right? I dream of owning a house at the top. I dream of having my own car, bottom. I want to have some new clothes. I want to have a new game at the bottom. I need to eat. I need to sleep behind the roof. I need some clothes. I need to pay electricity. Those are the bottom needs, right? Whenever you get money, those are what you do. So money at first becomes a need, then very quickly becomes a security. And we're all looking for security. We're all looking for security. But just like at school, money shouldn't be a security. Being yourself, being confident in who you are, taking decision, no matter how wrong they are, should be the reward, should be security. I made a mistake. It's my fault. I'll fix it. I apologize. That's a good thing. That's a great thing, actually. But we don't see it like that. We see it as constant failures and rejection and shit like that. Why? Because it's a lot simpler to do that. It's a lot simpler to say, well, I made a mistake. And I'm going to suffer for it. Right? And this is actually really important. You go in, right? And somebody tells you, hey, dude, I got this really nice investment. It's going to work. I promise you. It's going to work. I got this really good investment. It's almost guaranteed. So what do? You invest. And okay, well, let's fucking go. And then he's wrong. Then you go to your wife and say, hey, I lost a lot of money. I'm sorry. The principle wasn't that you lost money. The principle that you saw an opportunity. I was favorable. You wanted to improve your lifestyle. You took a risk and it didn't pay off. But life is about taking risk, right? And even though you didn't succeed, you still managed to take a risk. Even though you didn't succeed, you still managed to go in and say, you know what? I want to improve my life. It's like people that buy lottery tickets. Lottery tickets, it's from the government. And it will never lose, right? It's from the banks. They will never lose. There's a rule in casino. The house never loses. When you go to casino, you have a dream. And that dream is worth more than what you had in your pockets. That dream is worth more than how much you won that night, or how much you lost. You know why? Because you didn't do it, you possibly did it for greed. You did it to better situation. Nobody that has $1 million will bet money to have another million. Yeah, that's the truth. You think rich people gamble? You see rich people in casino? Very rarely, right? Wonder why. So although this video doesn't seem purposeful, we just need to find the magic. If I can repeat what happened this morning, I'm golden. If I can repeat this feeling of I had purpose, we're golden. Because I'm gonna be honest with you guys. The only thing that changed is purpose, right? Last year, Ink wasn't like, yo, should I be doing this video? Last year, Ink wasn't like, hey, this is a good idea to do. Last year, Ink didn't give a fuck about that. Last year, Ink was like, I want to talk about this and let's fucking go. And the truth is, last year, Ink didn't think about purpose. Didn't think about, is it really worth it to do this video? You know? I don't know. Looking for purpose in life. I don't think a lot of people are looking for purpose in life. What I was trying to say with the job is really simple. I would love to have a 9 to 5. A 9 to 5 would be the dream. A 9 to 5 is really the dream. And I truly mean that. I know I sound sarcastic, but I truly mean this. Making content would be a dream. Finding a 9 to 5 that's stable would be a dream. Right? Because making content equates a dream of artistic belief and living a meaningful life. Working a 9 to 5 would mean security of work. Security of work would assure me a lot. What the heck? Somebody asked me if I'm the BDSM last time. That was weird, and I don't know them. That's the complicated things today. This is a really complicated thing of the morning. A 9 to 5 would mean security, and maybe that's all I need. Maybe I need security. Maybe I'm more okay. Maybe I'm more okay with working in a 9 to 5 than I thought. You know? Give me a healthy environment. Give me a stable job. Give me good hours. I'm good. But then, how is it possible to have true dreams that are complete opposite? I don't know. I don't know, because it's hard to identify what is a need and what is a want. What I thought I wanted yesterday became a need, and what I thought was a need yesterday has become a want. If I could be bringing a CV and I was guaranteed to work for 40 hours, I'd take it. I'd fucking take it. Because I would need a stable income, right? But last year, if you asked me, hey, get a job, I'm like, no, I'm making content. That's my job. What changed? Why are we having such a hard time finding a purpose? I don't know. I don't know. I got no clue. I got no clue. I don't know. I don't know. And I don't know what changed. And that's the scary part. Because you see, in a perfect world, in a really perfect world, you would say, well, it's maturity. You're realizing that you need to be a man of the house. Take care of shit, right? But maybe, just maybe, it is a fear that this might not work. This is me starting not to believe that this is a dream that is achievable. That is a dream that is somehow worth it, you know? Maybe that's a problem. Or maybe I'm fucking crazy. Maybe I'm fucking crazy. And maybe since day one. See, we'll do a part 2. See you soon.